pathway. Let's go digging. Still very wet.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. We're down at the step project again, which is where we left you last time. John having just finished all of that beautiful tiling. Well, not finished. We've still got 2 steps to go, haven't you?
Yeah.
One more. No, 2 more. 2 more.
So 3 steps done, 2 steps to go. And today we're going to be digging out the trench that will connect the bottom of the steps to the granite pathway that goes around the front of the Hobbit house. We asked Joachim yesterday to bring us a pallet of these granite slabs the next time they bring stones from the quarry. So hopefully that'll happen in the next week or so. And then we can finish up connecting all of these pathways around the farm.
It's going to be a really busy day today. Behind me I can see Marcus and Shivu moving some rebar around. That's going to be going up. Tomorrow I think we're going to be putting the beams and blocks for the top floor into place, and I'm pretty confident, talking to Marcus and Adam this morning, that what's going to happen is we'll be putting some more stone across the front of the house and just building that level up.
Dad,
Me, I'm going to be digging. What's that, buddy?
Dad, if we shouldn't put this here, it's poisonous.
Is it poisonous?
Yeah,
Okay, don't eat it then.
we have to cut it down.
No, we leave it like that because it's pretty, isn't it? We like flowers.
But there's no flower on this one.
That is a flower, buddy. The yellow thing is a flower. What are you up to, Crusoe? Are you whittling? Well done, my boy. You're getting very good at that.
Mom, and I'm gonna get some tools out of my backpack.
Okay, dokie. What you gonna do with that?
What is going on?
What do you see? Nothing.
When we put the path down originally, we weren't really sure if we were doing the right thing, whether it was going to work, but this was done 2 years ago now and it's really settled. There's been a lot of sunshine and heat and water and rain, and there's been no cracking or movement of it, so we've obviously done a fairly good job. I remember thinking at the time, it doesn't really matter if it breaks anyway, you know, it's kind of part of the character of having a garden is having the plants grow up through the gaps of paving slabs and what have you. No gaps, nothing. I think we'll carry on doing that in the same vein and see how it goes. But right now, just chopping out the pathway, getting rid of this grass, digging down a little bit so that when we put the path slabs in, they'll be the same level as the grass itself. Now we just want to get some sort of an idea of the direction of the path, you know, what kind of, where's it going to go? I've got a feeling we're going to get stone today, you know, so it might be that we just start making this today, I don't know. Talking to Jose and Joachim yesterday, I think we run out of stone for the house, so we're going to need more of it today, so they might bring a pallet of this today as well. Let's see. Well, this path is going to join with these steps.
And I'm lifting big rocks.
And you're lifting big rocks.
And I'm cutting.
And you've got your knife. Careful, don't swing it around. We had this wonderful idea. When we built the Hobbit house and the path here, before we renovated the stone house, we had this really cool idea about digging right down into the ground here. That's why we stopped doing the path, because I was pretty sure we were going to dig a big hole in the ground here and make it into what we were calling at the time the James Bond house. I still got ideas for that, but anyway, it's nice to see our house starting to get finished, so we'll just make the path now and say that we're busy enough with the house before we get to the James Bond house.
That was one of John's ideas that came to him after maybe, I don't know, half a bottle of wine, and he was like, I've got such a good idea, let's dig a big hole. Previously he had said, he'd called me over to see this viewpoint and gone, imagine this, right? We dig a big hole and we put a swimming pool under the ground.
That's a good idea.
I was like, who wants to swim under the ground? That's not the point of a swimming pool. Anyway, then it morphed into like a James Bond house, like a place where boys can put drum kits, and you know, we can have like a reading nook with this beautiful view behind us, because it is one of the nicest views on the farm. It's so stunning over those mountains. And we kind of thought we could put a deck down there with a hot tub or a sauna or something. But anyway, your imagination runs wild. I must admit, darling, do you feel like our imagination's just kind of, I don't know, it's not stopped a bit, but it's slowed down a bit with the house build, because that is really all consuming. And with everything that's been going on with the banks and stuff, it's just, life's not feeling as sort of, I don't know, colourful, or, I don't know, it felt like we had small, fun, crazy projects a few years ago. Now it's like all big, serious, grown-up projects is how I feel currently. How do you feel, love?
You know, all of these projects, everything we do, it all costs a bit of money, doesn't it? When all the money's going on just one big project, it's difficult to get excited about the little projects around the side. I mean, okay, we built this for nothing because we had the product already. Those are the kind of projects I like. And when we first got to the farm, actually, most of the projects that we were building were like that. They didn't cost us any money. You know, bamboo, outdoor shower. The Hobbit house was practically free as well. All the gardening stuff and the bits and pieces around the edges, that was all, you know, we tried to keep it as cheap as possible, didn't we?
Well done, buddy. Okay, well done, Crusoe. Good work, my love. What are you making?
For this is for my tree house.
Okay.
And the next one tomorrow is for my bed. Mom, look at this big one. I'm getting carried out.
No, don't, buddy, because if you drop it, it'll break.
Break. That one's a Yuki.
What is it? It's a grub. What a grub?
Crusoe, come show me. What have you found? Come show me.
Go back in the dark one.
He needs to go back in the dirt. Yeah, of course he does.
Yeah, because he's gonna die when in
Okay, all right. Well, let's show everybody. Love it. Right, where are you going to put him?
Right here.
Okay. Why don't you put him in the grass over there where Daddy's not digging, and then he won't get hurt? Very quick break to say a massive thank you to the sponsor of today's episode, Incogni, and remind you guys to take the safety of your data seriously. Data brokers are operating around the world, collecting things like your name, your address, your social security number, your health records. They're using that information for their own profit. It's the root of all of the kind of spam and robocalls that you get. It could have even further reaching repercussions, like somebody taking out a loan in your name or getting hold of your health information and affecting your health insurance premiums. And keeping control of it is super tricky if you try and do it on your own. Incogni's very clever software scours data broker websites looking for all the places where your data appears. The software, once it finds your data, requests its removal and continues to check that it's been removed until it's done. You can sign up for Incogni's annual plan, which means that their software will continue to check these data broker websites throughout the year, so that if your data reappears, they can make the request again and it gets taken down. You can also set up a family plan and add different users to your subscription. And each of your added users, if you're in the US, can add 3 phone numbers, email addresses, or addresses for Incogni to be searching for, so that your protection is super thorough. So sign up for Incogni and keep your data safe. Use the link in our description below and you will get 60% off their annual plan. There's also a 30-day money-back guarantee, so there's absolutely no risk to giving it a go. John has finished marking out that path, and I've just noticed she was up here. Putting the rebar into the trench, ready for the beton, cemento, concrete, whatever you want to call it, all the names. So that trench is to lay the foundations for the stonework that's going to start coming around the house in the next week or so. As John said, the team have been super busy this morning since they got on site a couple of hours ago now, getting everything ready for tomorrow, which is the day they're going to be putting those beams and air bricks up onto, I suppose, what will be our roof, our ceiling in the top floor. And they've been moving lots and lots of rocks around this side. You can see them all here. What I thought was so interesting was one of these ones was kind of shaped like that. You know, it's got a really interesting curve to it. I wondered if they were going to use that one to put into the window, which we're going to put down here into our little, not garage, which now actually is going to become the utility room / snug space. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing them doing this, because this is where it gets really interesting to watch, you know, as they wrap the stones around the corners, as they shape the windows, and they have to work with this kind of undulating ground in the front of the house. It's going to be really, really beautiful. And we'll start to really get an idea of what a stone house in this location is going to look like. You know, it's going to start feeling really settled and looking like it belongs. Marcus has just wandered up with all of his tools, so I think we're going to start placing now. And I think, as John said, this is probably the last of the stone we've got on site at the moment, so we need a great big old truck to come and bring us some more.
Thank you. This sounds like treasure. What have you got?
What is it?
What is it?
What is it?
It's somebody's wall.
Wow, it's an old piece of tile. We should clean that up and see what it looks like. There seems to be lots in there, hey love.
Yeah, this came from underneath the step when we excavated for the step. Now I'm just trying to clear out the majority of the rocks.
Sawyer, look there, next to Crusoe's badza, there's another piece of treasure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The white.
You gonna get it?
The two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we clean them up and see what they look like?
Yeah, let's go. Let's clean them up and run it inside.
Let's go to the tap right here. Good work, Crusoe. That's excellent digging, bud. Right.
Tap.
There's the tap. Let's see. Okay.
Yeah, this one. This.
Okay, let's see. Oh, they look like interesting colours. I wonder why they're pink and blue.
That's why they got in the
Wow, that's interesting. That one's not as interesting. Doesn't have any pink on it, but it's still nice and blue. Okay, there you go.
Here.
There's more. Okay. That looks like a broken teapot. I think these ones you must throw away, buddy, because they're a bit sharp. Okay.
What have you got? Wow, that one's fun, isn't it? It's got pink and what's the other colour?
Blue.
Blue.
And then yellow.
And yeah.
See this one. This one. Yeah. That's blue. I think that's one of those old ones.
Come on, big boy.
From somebody's wall, I think you're quite right. Something that happens a lot in Portugal, both on the farm and off when we've been out and about, is that you find all over Portugal these little bits of tile. Now, you might or might not know that Portugal has this tradition of these azulejo tiles that go over the front of buildings. There's some in very famous landmarks like the São Bento train station in Porto. I think there's something, I forget the numbers, but it's tens of thousands of tiles, all painted by a single artist. They are incredible. And as you're wandering around in various places, you often find these little bits of chipped tile. I have a whole collection of them in the Knot Garage that I'm determined to do something with one day. But on the farm we found loads, so the boys love it. They're always like, oh, there's treasure, there's treasure. Sometimes it's something really special, and other times it's just a bit of rubbish, but it's always exciting.
Mama, I got it.
What we want is we want to clear all of that out, put loads of lavenders and sunflowers so that we don't have to do very much maintenance with it. All of these flowers are across the top here. We seeded them, but we've left them to their own devices and they've come along nicely. We've got some foxgloves there.
Yeah, we've never weeded up there or anything really,
No,
have we? We've just left it.
Yeah, just left it go. Well, we what have you got?
Grub.
Grub?
Where's a grub?
Where's the grub?
Gosh, lots of grubs, hey?
All of this path building and bits and pieces around the edges is all great fun, but the bit I most look forward to is planting the plants, you know, putting the flowers in and watching them grow.
And down here, all the way along the side of the Hobbit house, we have got an explosion of lemon balm, which smells incredible. It's almost like citronella-y, like you could use it as a mosquito repellent. But it's very, very fresh and lemony. But it is a member of the mint family, and it does take over like crazy. So although it's lovely to have it, it makes delicious teas and stuff, and you can dry it for tea and you can drink it just like this in your tea. In fact, I think I might have some after this, but it isn't very good if you have it in your veggie garden or things, because it does just completely take over. I love this. This delivery driver gets so excited every time he comes, and he paps all the way down the hill. See? So they're just saying it's the cement and the sand to do the la placa, the top bit tomorrow. See? Obrigada. Gosh, that is a lot of sand. Holy moly. Very, very, very big delivery. These guys have got really good at navigating our little turning circle now. And we've started parking our car down here. It's all up at the top, so it's much easier for them to negotiate. Right, well, I don't understand most of what's going on, but Marcus definitely was expecting that truck to be full of stone, because they have run out of stone. So the guy that's delivering it is from the local builders merchant. That's where Kim sources all of our materials and stuff from, and it's also where they're cutting the stone. I don't know if you remember when we first went back to the builders merchant to look at that yellow stone from Villarreal. That's where we're getting all of our stuff from. So they've brought this huge load of sand and cement, which is to do that next level tomorrow of the house. But I've just had a conversation between all of them going, yeah, but that's great, but where's the stone? Like, we need stone as well, because we finished all of the stone. So basically, once Marcus has finished laying this front bit here with the stones that they've moved, that's pretty much it. They've got no more to work with until we get another delivery. Fingers crossed that's going to be either today or tomorrow. But from what I can understand, that wasn't the expectation of the delivery driver. So, I don't know. We'll see. You know, it was just so interesting watching Marcus there. The stone is going up around us at such an amazing pace, considering how fiddly and how intensive the work is. And you can kind of get a little bit blasé at the detail and how intense that process is. But just taking 5 minutes there just to watch Marcus measure out a gap where he needed a stone, watch him inspect all of the stones that he had to work with, find the piece that worked, measure it out, then crack it into the right shape, and then put it into place. So satisfying. And I've got such appreciation for the skill that we've got working on our house at the moment. we're so lucky to have this team. And, you know, Marcus is just an absolute artist with this stone. This is going to be the most beautiful stone house. Obi, now! I think someone's trying to steal my dog. This dog is literally loved and adored by everybody who comes here. It's very, very special. I literally put a giant smile on my face because as the lorry came down the road, Obi came running across the build site, so excited. I think he knows that delivery driver. He knows that that's his mate, and he was just super stoked to be kind of, you know, catching up with his friend. Everyone loves him here. We lose Obi every lunchtime. He goes and sits out at the builders with the guys having their lunch and gets his like little treats and snacks and things. And 7:30 in the morning as they drive down the hill, off he goes to say hello. And he's just so loved. And you know, when we got a border collie, I know they can be a little bit neurotic. So I was a little bit nervous. He was going to struggle with the build site, but he is totally unfazed. Oh man, the boys have gone off for a little swimming session. And they would be sad to miss this, I think. Nothing better than a giant tipper truck tipping out a huge load of sand, hey? Oh! Fence is breaking. Special boy.
Okay, that's it for this section. I've run out of cement to stick the tiles, so I'm going to take a break, do some digging instead, and come back to it. But what we're going to want to do is just maybe do a mix of different glue, because I want to put little frames down the sides of it as well, and then we get to do the fun bit, which is the planting. Before the rain comes and before we have any serious problems with discoloration of these tiles, and we've had some bad luck with terracotta tiles in the past. I just want to get some paint on them. By coating them before we put the cement on, it just means that cement won't discolour the red and go grey.
Oh, slow living can be life-giving, although we might disagree. If most our lives are
Which one is?
lived in black and white, it makes
Are they eating the strawberries?
so hard to see. The same old people, the same old steeples on every corner, a half a mile. But nothing changes, and ain't it strange that we didn't know
Right, let's push
as a child
around the both sides.
that slow living can be life-giving.
We want to step on it.
Although we might disagree, if most our lives are lived in black and white, it makes the gray so hard to see. Living in a dry state where we all say grace, buying liquor on a Sunday across the county lines, where the raindrops rolling off the rooftops, making the clouds stop for just a little while. Oh, slow living can be life-giving, although we might disagree. If most